Okay, a bit of an update. It's the next day. The doors are all lined up. Off camera, I just put the locks in, so the doors are now hung in their original, well, in the place that they're going to stay. I won't quite say original, as this car is not as straight as it could be, but anyway. So at this point now, I'm going to head along and do the filler work here. You can see there's a slight dent there. We'll pull that out and then get some filler in there. And then back over here, if we have a look over here, there's some filler that's cracked here. So we just need to grind that back and then fill that up again. So that's where we're at now. So I'm going to just tackle that quickly. And then once that's done, we can shoot a coat of primer on it. And before we shoot the coat of primer, I want to roll that fender, because that fender might need some filler work once I've rolled it. So I think I'll start with that now. Roll the fender, then from there I'll know if I need to do filler work on there, and then when I do mix filler, I can do the fender, this, and the section at the back, and then primer thereafter. Like I said, the doors are all hung and straight and everything now. So once we can get the primer done, then we can prep for paint and then shoot a layer of top coat and assemble the doors and get this car out of here. So anyway, here goes. Okay guys, so the body filler is sanded. Gave it a few coats. I just recorded one. I mean, obviously you guys only see me doing it repetitive work again and again. Anyway, so the dent's filled and everything here is flat and smooth. And then I also gave this back section here a bit of a touch up there. There's still a few pit marks in there, but the filler primer will sort that out. So yeah, anyway, now I'm going to mix some primer and then tape up and make it neat here that I don't get too much overspray on the unnecessary parts. And then once the primer's on, because the only part that really needs primer is the arch and the section under the light, which is one panel. I'm probably just going to put a little bit of primer on these scratches here just to fill those up, but the fender's brand new, so it just needs a flat, and the doors obviously are pretty straight bar those scratches there. There's no major scratches on the back door, so those are just really flat down and paint. So that's where I am at now. The bumper as well also just needs a bit of primer, so that'll also just get a quick scuff with some water paper so that the primer will adhere to it nicely. So in the meantime, I will tape it up and prep the primer, and then yeah, we'll give it a shot of paint. So we're ready with the preparation. I've taped off some of the areas here. Obviously this one we'll spray with the door open. When I put the primer on, I haven't gone crazy taping the car up because it's a low pressure gun and it's a touch-up gun as well. So it's a very small spray span. Oh, and there goes the gun. Don't want to do that too often. So yeah, anyway, so you can see there it's quite a small touch-up gun, as I said. So we'll just blend in or primer in that section here. And like I said, I'm not too fussed if we get a bit of overspray on here because we're actually spraying the whole panel, so not too much of a train smash. The bumper, obviously we just don't want to get on the apron at the bottom, and then we just want to blend in that section there so that we can get rid of all the scratches and the chip paint that was on that section. I gave the front door a bit of a flat down over those scratches, and once I took the sharp edges away and felt the door, I actually felt a few dents. Off camera I just put a bit of filler work there, so that now is 100% straight and ready to receive primer. So yeah, anyway, I'll charge the compressor quickly and then just give this a quick shoot. Okay, so I've got the primer on and I've also shot a coat of blue guide coat over it just for when I flat it down. I can make sure that it's nice and smooth and there's no high spots and low spots and the rest of it. So if you have a look over here, you can see the scratches from the sandpaper in the paint there, and obviously this primer is nice and thick, so the idea is when we sand it down, it sands down to all those low spots, and the blue will guide us until we can see that all the low spots are gone. So that's the idea there. And then obviously that section here where it cracked out, got that done. Just did the section inside the door frame a little bit here, and then over those two little dents and scratches that were over here. So yeah, tomorrow obviously it should dry nicely overnight, so tomorrow Should be nice and hard dry. We can actually tackle it with some sandpaper. And then in the interim, obviously like the fender can be sanded, this door can be sanded. So yeah, we'll just get everything prepped out now for paint. Obviously the paint's going to be collected from the paint shop still, so maybe on my way into work tomorrow I'll go get the paint, get this stuff prepped, and then the moment it's all ready we take the car up, shoot a coat of top coat, and then once that's dry, sand it down, give it a slight polish, throw the windows in, and we go from there. So anyway, that's it for today. We'll catch it up with this car again tomorrow once we've got the paint and the primers dry. Hey guys, back at the shop today. Had a lekker relaxed weekend. So back on the Polo, getting everything prepped out. I spent the whole day sanding the inside of the doors, sanding the panels. The spray work here is going to be a 2-day process. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to paint the inside jambs of the doors. I'm going to paint the body, which is really just the rear fender, and then excuse me, the doors obviously will be painted on the outside tomorrow, along with the fender and the bumper. So what I want to do now is get everything that's connected to the body, i.e. the fender, get that all painted, so that's all hard, and then tomorrow what I can do is just paint the outside of the 2 doors, the fender and the bumper. Once that's all done, bolt everything back on, and then from that point we can assemble, put the glass, and the rear door doesn't have a mechanism. Obviously they're trying to save weight, so that's just got a little bracket that holds the window up, and then obviously the door panels and all that. Obviously they're not conventional road car door panels, they're very lightweight, thin plastic panels. So we got a bit of an update, got paint on the car. I've even taken the back door and just hung it again on its pins, just for storage. The front door sitting down over here next to all my engines. That's all painted there. And then tomorrow we'll be back. Not a hell of a lot to see today, but that's the thing with spray painting. It's 90% preparation, 10% spray. So tomorrow back here, and then we'll get the outside of the 2 doors painted, the fender and the rear bumper. Then, like I said, glass, lights, make it pretty again. So for now, I'm going to call it a day today, and then back tomorrow, carry on. Catch you guys then. What's up guys, we're back at the shop today. I spent the morning on another customer's car. This one has been spent today drying, so the rear fender's painted. 1 or 2 dust nibs in there, so I must just sand that down and get it ready for polishing, and then obviously that'll sort that out. I spent the afternoon sanding down the doors here. They've been flatted on the outside, the bumper as well. We had a little bit of a primer repair here, that's sorted. And then the fender over here was brand new, so I've sanded that down. Just need to wipe them down with some pre-clean now, mix some paint up, charge the compressor, and we'll shoot them with a coat of paint, and then hopefully tomorrow we can polish and reassemble, and then hopefully the next day back off to the customer, and then we get on to the next one. Okay guys, so done with the painting. Fenders painted, back doors painted, front doors painted, bumpers painted. It's the one thing about paintwork, it's the actual spraying is probably 5% of the job in terms of time. You sit here and you prep and you prep and you prep and you prep, and eventually you just throw a coat of paint, and if your preparation's done well, your final product looks good. All those guys that rush the preparation sit there with a job that they could be the best spray painter in the world, and the final product looks really crappy. So anyway, so it's a frustrating thing. It's taken 2 days, and it's probably been, when we put this down on film, it's lucky if it's 5 minutes. So anyway, but that's fine. Okay, so I'll let this stuff dry overnight now, and then tomorrow we can start assembling it onto the car. Obviously the doors, we need to transfer the windows and rubbers and winder mechanism out of those 2, and the mirror and that onto these 2, and then obviously we can just hang them on the car. And the rear bumper can obviously just be bolted on, and the front fender bolted on, and once it's all on the car we can just give it a light flat and a polish, and should be good to go. Right, update time guys. let the doors dry overnight in the bumper and the fender. So it's the next day here. I have spent most of the day, as you can see by the hands, flattening down the panels with a 2000 water paper. Obviously it's a race car, we're not going total high gloss finish because chances are it's get banged up again. So we don't want to spend hours with like a 3000 getting it smooth as glass just for it to get banged up again. Unfortunately, that's the cost of doing business with these things. I think I actually sprayed the same side of the car 18 months ago. I've resprayed this whole car 2-3 years ago. So there's a bit of wear and tear that happens on the bodywork. So yeah. But anyway, in terms of that, I hung the doors on the car just so that they're not sliding around on the table. So the doors are all flattened down, ready for polish. I'll probably just stick some paper in the windows now. I was going to fit the windows, but the back one actually gets riveted in, and the guys are still coming to do a black insert for the stickers down through that section in here. If you have a look here on the old doors, obviously it's got these inserts that I'm talking about, and obviously the rubber folds in there. So if I fit the glass, they can't get it to fold in nicely behind the rubber, or they've got to pull the rubber back while they're doing it, so that gets a little bit interesting. Okay guys, as you can see here, I've polished up the rear fender and the two doors, and it's looking pretty good. Put the door handles on. I've got the driver's door here now that I'm going to take the mechanisms and window and whatnot out of, get it into that one, get the mirror, get the front door complete, and that way it's ready for stickers. And then obviously, like I said, the front door, the window winds down, so we can just leave the rubber out. They can do the inlays with the vinyl, then we can pop the rubber on. The back one I'm going to have to leave the window out until they're done with the vinyl. But otherwise, yeah, the rest of the car will be put back together, just waiting on the vinyl, and then the back window can go in. The front fender, I've sanded that down, ready for polish, and there's a couple of bolts in the front just to get it secure and get the bumper and everything back on. That we've put some bolts with nylock nuts so just to hold everything together, because like I said, this class, they do get a little bit rough and tumble, as you can see by the repairs here, and you don't want to lean against another guy. When the bumper comes loose, you get black flagged for that. So we put some extra bolts in there just to secure it so it doesn't fall off. But yeah, and then I have to get the car on the lift to do the back bumper. I don't really feel like lying all over the floor to do it. So yeah, today I just want to finish up the front door and then get the fender polished, and then from that point, like I said, I'm in no rush now. Today is Wednesday, so I got another 2 days, so I can do the bumper tomorrow when I got half an hour or whatever, because they're only coming Monday for the stickers. So there's no rush to get it all done now. So yeah, whenever it fits in, it fits in. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to strip out this door now, get the glass and everything in there, polish that front fender, and probably call it a day. So the window is in, the rubbers are in, the window mechanism's in, doors all assembled. So yeah, all working nicely. We just need to put the cover on the inside, but that I need to drill and rivet and whatnot. But again, I'm going to wait till the stickers are done, and then I can do the final installation. Because maybe I need to remove something. Then I'm going to drill out the rivets. We'll wait till the outside's all complete, and then we'll complete the inside. So yeah, I'll leave the paper in here for the moment, that we don't get the seat full of dirt and muck. So yeah, until the stickers are done, and then that glass will come in. Tomorrow I'm going to fit the light, the rear bumper, and then the front bumper's obviously hanging a bit here. We'll obviously drill out a hole there, and then that will bolt in. And then the bumper's loose, to pull it forward, because the fender needs to bolt to the front panel under the bumper there. So that's all loose, that we can just shift it all forward. And then once it's all buttoned up underneath, we can put the bumper back. And then once the bumper's secure, we can sort the grill out. And yeah, once that window's in, we can give the car a wash, which is definitely what it needs after all this polishing and dust flying all over it. So yeah. This side of the car, obviously there's no issues there, but yeah, anyway, so that's on the cards for tomorrow. For now, I'm going to park it, and yeah, we'll get back here tomorrow and get cracking on that, and yeah, it should be finished soon. So anyway, and then we can get back onto the other projects that are on the go. There's a lot of my ones when customers' cars like this come in, obviously then get put aside, and then we get the customer's car out quickly, and then once work dries up a bit, then I climb back onto the projects that I've bought. So yeah, anyway,